There's one sentence that when a woman says it should stop you in your tracks. Because if you ignore it, you won't just get your heart broken. You'll get betrayed by someone close to you. Let me be clear. If she's cheating, there's a strong chance it's not with a stranger. It's with someone you already know, someone you trust, and even worse, she might be dropping hints, and you're not catching them. In this video, I'm going to give you 7 phrases, patterns, and psychological signs that almost always mean she's cheating, and it's with someone in your circle. This is advanced level relationship awareness. No games, no drama, just truth. So pay close attention, because your peace, your pride, and your power are on the line. Let's begin. Sign 1. You're overthinking it. If a woman says this after you ask a calm, respectful question like, "Who were you texting?" or "Why didn't you tell me you were going out tonight?" Red flag. Because here's what most men don't realize. Women who are honest will clarify. They'll ease your mind. They'll say something like, "Oh, that? I was with Sarah from work. Want me to show you?" But if her answer is, "You're overthinking, you're being paranoid," that's not reassurance. That's deflection. She's making you feel like the crazy one. She wants you to drop it without answering. And why would someone avoid a simple question? Usually because the answer leads to the truth, and the truth leads to pain. So, if she uses this phrase often, especially when you're asking about someone you both know, a guy she used to work with, a family friend, or a guy she says is just cool, pay attention. She's not avoiding the question. She's avoiding what you'll realize once it's answered. Sign 2. He's just like my brother. One of the most dangerous phrases in relationships. Why? Because it makes you instantly drop your guard. Think about it. If she says, "He's just like my brother," you stop questioning. You relax. You trust her judgment. But here's the thing. Real brothers don't flirt. They don't text at midnight. They don't like every selfie. They don't invite her out when you're not around. If she's constantly texting, hanging out, or even venting emotionally to this so-called brother figure, you're not dealing with a sibling bond. You're witnessing the early stages of emotional infidelity. Or worse, full-on cheating. And here's what hurts most. It's often with someone you both know. A friend of yours, someone you've laughed with, someone who smiles in your face and DMs her when you're not looking. Listen to me carefully. If a man is around your woman more than you are, and you didn't assign him that job, you've got a snake in your garden. Sign 3. He's going through a lot right now. When a woman starts defending another man's emotional state, and it's not her brother, her dad, or her gay best friend, you've got a serious problem. This phrase sounds innocent, like she's just being supportive. But what it often reveals is emotional prioritization. She's protecting his emotions more than yours. She's investing energy in his pain, not yours. She's starting to feel responsible for his peace. And that's not harmless. That's intimacy. And intimacy without accountability leads to cheating, especially if this guy's already part of your life. An old friend, co-worker, gym buddy, cousin of a friend. Because the most common affair isn't with a stranger. It's with someone who's always been around. So when she starts defending him, explaining why he's not that bad or just struggling right now, Ask yourself, why does she feel the need to defend him? What's she defending him from? Usually, you. Sign 4. Why don't you trust me? Now, at first glance, this phrase seems fair. If she's innocent, maybe she's hurt you don't trust her. Maybe she's trying to understand why you're being distant. But here's the truth most men miss. This question isn't always genuine. In fact, it's often a guilt tactic. She knows you're sensing something. She knows you're not stupid, so before you find out the truth, she hits you with emotional manipulation. She turns the spotlight on you. Why don't you trust me? You're just insecure. You have issues from your past. Now you're apologizing. Now you're second-guessing yourself. Now she's dodged the topic again. Brother, let me tell you something stoic and real. If you've been calm, clear, and respectful, and she still flips it on you, you're not paranoid. You're perceiving something she's trying to hide. Sign 5. You're being controlling. This is another classic reversal technique. If you say, I don't feel comfortable with how often you're talking to Jason, or I noticed you're spending a lot of time with Chris, and she fires back with, wow, you're being so controlling. I can't have friends now. What she's doing is shifting the focus from her behavior to your boundaries. Now, here's the key difference. If you're telling her what to wear, who to see, what to post, yes, that's controlling. But if you're communicating your values and expectations like a man, and she calls it control, that's deflection. What she's really saying is, don't question me, even if something feels off. And often, this happens when she's emotionally invested in someone close to you and doesn't want to admit it. Remember, a woman who's loyal will be grateful for your boundaries. A woman who's cheating will be offended by them. Sign 6. He's just going through a breakup. I'm just helping. This is one of the sneakiest lines ever used in emotional affairs. She makes it seem like she's just being a kind soul, like she's mentoring this man, when in reality, she's connecting with him on a level that you're not invited to. And it almost always starts with long late-night conversations, emotional venting. He just needs someone to talk to. And next thing you know, they're bonding, they're trauma sharing, they're getting close. And worst of all, you know him. He's a mutual friend, or an acquaintance who's always harmless, until he's not. If a woman is emotionally comforting another man consistently, especially after he's been dumped, you're not in a relationship anymore. You're in a love triangle. You just haven't been told yet. Sign 7. I deserve to be happy. This is the phrase many women use right before they cheat, or right after they already have. It sounds innocent. It even sounds reasonable. I just want to feel good about myself again. I deserve to be happy. This relationship isn't what it used to be. And you know what? That might all be true. But here's the Stoic truth. Happiness doesn't justify betrayal. A mature woman addresses the problems. She doesn't avoid them by running into another man's arms. So when she starts talking like this, especially while she's becoming emotionally distant and spending time with a friend, you need to ask yourself, is she growing or is she preparing her exit? Because most affairs aren't sudden, they're planned. Emotional first, then physical. And if she's saying things like, I deserve to feel special, but you know there's a specific man she's been texting more than you, chances are she's already gone. Final message. You don't need to spy. You don't need to rage. You don't need to control. What you need is to observe. Her words, her patterns, her energy. Because betrayal doesn't always come with a warning. Sometimes it comes with a smile, a hug, a lie hidden behind a sweet voice. But if you stay calm, if you trust your gut, if you walk with honor and truth, you'll never fall for the same trick twice. And as always, stay stoic. I'm with you.